Hi, I'm Yo-Yin.
Hi, I'm Kim. We read Heart of Darkness, which is a novella by Joseph Conrad.
In this novella, Conrad uses framed narration to depict his views towards imperialism. The unnamed narrator is telling we, the readers, about his friend Marlowe's expedition to Africa, where he is a first-hand witness to the horrors of imperialism. While in Africa, Marlowe learns about a Mr. Kurtz. He finds out that Mr. Kurtz is very successful in the ivory trade and is a man of great power and authority. Because of this, Marlowe is very anxious to meet him. Okay.
Before Marlowe even travels far, he sees the ruthless exploitation of Africans. Marlowe begins traveling down the Congo River with a band of cannibals that are surprisingly pleasant, given that they are cannibals, to see the notorious Mr. Kurtz. What he finds there scars him. He finally learns that what makes a man noble in Europe, it translates to a great and terrible man in Africa. One common criticism of Heart of Darkness is that it's racist in nature. The Nigerian writer Chinua Achebe has claimed that Heart of Darkness is an offensive and deplorable book that sets Africa up as a foil to Europe, as a place of negations at once remote and vaguely familiar, in comparison with which Europe's own state of spiritual grace will manifest. Achebe says that Conrad does not provide enough of an outside frame of reference to enable the novel to read as ironic or critical of imperialism.
Being African myself, I would have to disagree with Achebe's comment about it not being ironic and being sort of a racist novel, because if anything, I think that Conrad depicts the Europeans as like savages and brutes who are just really greedy and power hungry. I mean, even the manager that Marlowe first meets when he goes to Africa is very covetous. Like he wants to take Kurt's position because he feels threatened by him. Everything's just about power and gaining and being opportunist. I mean, even Kurtz is so obsessed with the ivory trade that he threatens to kill his own assistant. If he doesn't give him his own personal supply of ivory. I mean, the Europeans are cannibals. Some of them are cannibals. They eat other people. And even Kurtz, at one point, Marlowe notes that he uses the skulls of dead Africans as to decorate a steak. So, if anything, Conrad shows that these European men are committing cruelties against humanity. Also, I believe that Conrad allows the reader to feel pathos. Like, he creates pathos because we, the readers, can sympathize with the Africans because they're being exploited by the Europeans. So, if anything, the Conrad depicts the Europeans as brutes who are covetous, power-hungry, and opportunists, who all exhibit ruthless, savage-like qualities. One of the key components to Heart of Darkness is the idea of darkness. There are 3 chapters in Heart of Darkness, and there are also 3 respective levels of darkness.
The book starts out with ominous descriptions of nature. This pathetic fallacy sets the mood of the entire book. The evil of the company is shown to be present even in Europe. When Marlowe visits the company headquarters in Brussels, he finds that even the white employees are in a frenzy. When Marlowe arrives in Africa, he witnesses his first evils. Is that dead? Okay. His first evils. Men shooting cannonballs at nothing. The outer station, where Marlowe witnesses the brutality of African slavery, is the beginning of his journey. All else before then is just foreshadowing of the darkness to come. It is the first level of darkness that lures him to the next two levels. The second level represents self-exploration. As the jungle darkens, so do Marlowe's thoughts. The vast silence allows for self-reflection. Marlowe finally starts his journey down the Congo River and encounters many obstacles that keep him from reaching the rumored Mr. Kurtz. It turns out when Marlowe reaches Kurtz at the heart of darkness, at the third and most savage level of darkness in the inner station, that his power is something Marlowe cannot fathom. There are many parallels that can be made between Heart of Darkness and the Inferno. There are increasing levels of darkness and savagery in both. In Hell, it's done as rings of hell with increasingly horrible punishments. And in Heart of Darkness, it's done by increasing the amount of dark thoughts had by the characters of Heart of Darkness. There are also increased measures taken so as to prevent people from reaching the center of hell and the inner station of the heart at the Heart of Darkness. For example, Kurtz orders an attack on Marlowe's boat to keep him from seeing what he has done. Hell includes burning sands that Virgil has to carry Dante over in order to meet Satan.
So one thing that I've noticed is that Conrad's Heart of Darkness is sort of the antithesis of Kipling's White Man's Burden. Kipling describes the natives as half devil and half child, but in Heart of Darkness, Conrad depicts the Europeans as half devil and half child, and the natives more as relatable to the readers as we were able to sympathize with them. Conrad shows that the Europeans exhibit demon-like qualities and childish behavior, as they're very obsessed with money and their disconnect from humanity.
I highly recommend reading Heart of Darkness. It was a very thought-provoking and well-written novella.